Hi Greedy 3Ds, following on from my recent video where I tested various different resins in the Ultracraft Reflex RS to see if they would all work, and they all did. One of the questions that came back to me was there any shrinkage? Do you get shrinkage using third-party resins in the Ultracraft Reflex RS? So what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to print a couple of files and see if they all fit together. Now, I'm sure there are specific tests for shrinkage where you can measure things with micrometers and test if anything's lost any size, but I suggest the average 3D printer just wants to know if they print their model, do the arms fit, do the legs fit, does the head fit, do you get anything that doesn't fit together? That's what I think we are more concerned about as the average 3D printer. I'm not talking about business, I'm not talking about professional stuff, I'm talking about the average person who just wants to make a model and see if it fits together. So I'm going to use a couple of third-party resins today that I'm just going to choose at random. I'm going to print two separate models and I'm going to see how they fit together. Stay tuned. So I've chosen two random resins for this. The first one is the Conjure Sculpt, and I'm going to print this on, of course, my Hagear's Ultracraft Reflex RS, and I've used the PARP 10 settings. And this is the Venkman statue from Wicked, the Ghostbusters statue. It's printed absolutely beautifully. It's come off the build plate wonderfully. Everything is where I would expect it to be, and everything looks good at this stage. Of course, I'm going to give it a clean in the Ultracraft cleaning station, the same as everything else, and I'm going to give it a cure, and after that I'm going to soak it in some warm water to get those supports off. If you've watched my video about trying to leave as little divot as you can with getting the supports off, you'll see that I came to a bit of a conclusion that hot soapy water was probably the best answer to get those supports off with leaving the least divots. And again, I've used the pulsating release module to do this. Once the supports were off on all of the models, what I wanted to do then was just test to see how well it goes together. I think the average 3D printer will want to know when they are printing stuff, will your model all fit together or will it not? Will there be gaps? Will it be too tight? Will it be too loose? So the usual process I'm going through is just what process you would probably go through before we start testing it. And the top and the bottom of the Venkman went together beautifully. I thought I'd caught that on video, but of course I didn't, but I did catch on video the arms going in, and they were absolutely fine as well. The sections that were meant to go together went together beautifully, and I'm just going to glue it together so you can see that in action. Really, here it is. I haven't done any prep work really on the joints, so it's not like I've done a load of work to get them to fit. This is literally off the printer and in, and I'm going to have to do a load of cleanup, and you could still see some of the little supports in there, and I wanted to make sure that I left it like that so you guys could see that I hadn't made them fit. The next thing I did was, when the arms were in place where they were supposed to go, the hands go in with the gun thingy, the whatever it's called, the yes, you know what I'm on about, and the hands will go in wonderfully and fit perfectly, and as does the proton pack at the back. Yeah, it's a proton gun, isn't it? Exactly. The head, again, I've done no work to this. It just fits in there, sits on there lovely, and connects as you would expect. So no shrinkage. It's not got any bigger or smaller. It's printed wonderfully and it all fits together wonderfully. The hands going in now to the arms, which I've already glued in place in their correct position. So I haven't pre-measured anything, and as you can see, those hands will go in. Both of them fit in there beautifully, and I've glued them together. I can safely say, using the Conjure resin and the Ultracraft Reflex RS, that everything has gone together wonderfully and beautifully, and nothing shrunk, nothing's got any bigger, and all the parts fit together. It's testament, I guess, to the artist as well, but no real dramas at all with this Venkman figure from Wicked. Now, the next resin of choice is a popular one for a lot of us, I would suggest, with the Sunlu ABS like, and here I've printed the Half-Life character Gordon Freeman from the Hell Patreon. He's all been printed in this ABS like Sunlu, and I've took him off, I've cleaned him and I've cured it. I've done nothing else, so I haven't done any sanding, any grinding, nothing at all. I just wanted to show you how the parts fit together. Now, on this model there'll be a little bit of requirement to just clean up the inner parts of the joints just to make things fit even perfectly, but you can see there's been no swelling of the actual parts, there's been no shrinkage, things are fitting together wonderfully. I just need to do a little bit of TLC on the joints, but that's normal with a model. It's something we all have to do all the times, and this this joint here has fitted together wonderfully. Both the knee joints went together perfectly, and they will require absolutely no intervention. The next thing I did once I tested the leg joints was looked at the head. Now the head, if you look at the back of it on his neck, you can see all the nubbins and bits of supports that I need to just clean off there. Now there's not a lot, but I just want to show you I've done no work to it, and that literally just slips in and fits beautifully. It's a wonderful sculpt that Hal Patreon has done here, absolutely lovely. But a little bit of cleanup will make things even better, but you don't desperately need to. But if you want it to be as close as you can, then this will do it. There's no shrinkage, nothing getting any bigger, no biggerage, my word of the day. It all fits wonderfully, and I just wanted to show you that in what we all do, which is a 3D printed character model. Now, I think it's fair to say that when you make your 3D printed model, to some degree or other, you're going to have to do some post-prep work on it. And if that post-prep work means that you're going to have to just sand down the little concave bit where the arm goes in or the leg goes in or the head goes in, that's all part of the process. What we've shown today is that things do fit together really, really well on two separate prints, maybe two separate designers using two separate resins, but on the same printer. The other thing I did do, which I don't think I mentioned, was on the second print, which was the Gordon Freeman print, I didn't use the pulse release module. So I used one with the PRM and one without, and the results are pretty standard across the board. The fits are pretty darn perfect. There might be a little bit of sanding here and there just to make things completely perfect, but that is the normal process in 3D printing. But I found as well that using these machines in the background for a long time, I certainly can speak from experience. I've had no issues of shrinkage using, and I've used lots of different kinds of resins in there. So I'm fairly confident to say to you guys that when you use your third-party resin, like your Sunlu ABS, like your Conjure, like your Jom J, whatever you use, you're not going to get shrinkage to the point where things aren't fitting together and you're going to have to make some massive adjustments. Just haven't seen any evidence of that at all. Now, did you find that useful or not? Let me know what you think in the comments. Is there anything else you'd like me to test or do or try to make your life a little bit easier before you purchase one of these things? And if you do want to buy one of these Ultracraft Reflex printers, then follow my link in the description. A little bit will kick back to me, of course it will, but I'm not saying it for that reason. It's just a way that I keep this channel going. But rest assured, I wouldn't tell you to get one or recommend one if it wasn't any good. And if you buy one from anywhere else, that's fine. Just get yourself one. They're really, really good. And just have a look at the other people's feedback and check on the Facebook pages, and you'll see that these printers are really, really nice printers to buy. If you like what you see today, please think about subscribing to the channel. We have got a Patreon and you'll be more than welcome. And I just want to thank my Patreons for your support right now. You can join that from as little as $3, or if you want to just donate a couple of quid a month just to help me carry on doing what I do here, because as I say, I don't get paid for this. You know, the only way this little channel makes any revenue is through the YouTube views, of course, and everybody gets. But if anyone buys anything through the affiliate links, a little bit kicks back, and it just allows me to carry on making the videos. But if you don't want to join the Patreon, that's fine, not a problem. I just hope you enjoy the content. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think. What else would you like me to test? What do you think about shrinkage? Would you offer any other suggestions, anything else I can try for you? I hope you found that useful, or something in there you've found useful. If you want to get these files and the Gordon Freeman file and the Ghostbuster files, I'll put links to where you can get them from, and I'm going to be painting them up in forthcoming videos, so I hope you enjoy that content too. Stay tuned.